How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode in live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan and Cutter, and if you guys do want access to our private repository, there is a link in the description down below. So I kind of walk you through exactly how to do that. Now, last episode we got so we could actually go ahead and create replies to a post. So if we actually hop into our code really quick, we can go ahead and click on this and be like, hello, or something like that, and click reply. It closes out of it, and then if we actually open up dbeaver really quickly, so now if we go ahead and open up our FooterDB databases, all this stuff, FooterDB schemas, public tables, let's go ahead and reload post. Scroll down, you can see our hello. It is a reply and it's all there. So right now, obviously there's no way to actually click on this post and see the replies and stuff. We do probably want to figure out how in heck to get the one beside this. And the other thing that we're trying to fix, and I haven't figured out how to fix it yet, is this GIF right here. It pops up down here, but it doesn't actually do what we want. So that is obviously an issue. We tried putting this inside of the create reply, I think. So where's our actual create reply? Let's just clear some stuff out here that we don't need at this current time. So we tried putting create reply, but obviously there's an issue because the modal doesn't really work. So we tried this. Whoops. Of course, let me go and grab this back. We tried this out and it didn't really work, I don't think. Actually, let's just get rid of all this and we'll just do the emoji drop down and see what happens, just to kind of make things a little bit simpler. I'm pretty sure this scuffed a bunch of stuff. It's obviously not what we wanted at, so we want it up here. So that one doesn't really work either. So that's kind of the issue that we're running into here. Close out of this and let's get rid of this stuff. So I kind of wanted to just debug a little bit, and then maybe we'll look into getting some post with like images or media or something working. And then if we have time, try to get the number on the little circle part. The number part should be pretty easy. I had originally thought that maybe it was because there's content hidden, because this create reply is a modal. I guess I was doing the wrong modal. So maybe it is because this modal is overflow hidden. So we take a look at this and let's get rid of this for a second. I think that I tried this, but maybe I didn't. Let's see, let's get rid of the modal. Let's refresh and do this. Okay, so it did pop up, but it didn't go in the right place. Oh, you know what? It's the bottom part. And I wondered if that was going to be a problem. This one would be inside the feed post creator, I think. Oh, it's because of something I said probably wouldn't ever happen. But we go back into our create reply bottom is where it was at. Let's add this back and see what happens. Okay, that's what we wanted. Now the issue again is this guy is way too high. So I think what we need to do is we need to do a sticky and then maybe pass in where we want it in the area, because I think sticky will also help us in this situation. So this is good. That fixed what we needed. So that's good. The only issue is overflows obviously might be broken, but maybe we could just do overflow side to side hidden or something. I'm not sure, but if we run into an issue, we'll try to debug it a little bit more, but that fixed that. Now the thing that I've kind of been dreading, I'm thinking about getting rid of this stuff here like this, and then passing in where we actually want this. So if we go into modal.tsx, so it already has this, so I'm thinking about putting like top position, and this will be a string, and left position, which is the string, and we could pass px here or whatever. We're going to have to find all the places we use this, and this is going to break a lot of stuff. That's fine. We'll bring in top position, bottom position, not bottom left position. And what we'll do is in the modal box, so this div, I guess we'll just have a style equal to, and inside the style, this is going to be interesting. And let's do this just so we can kind of see what's going on here. Clean this up. So then we can say top is top position, and we can say left is left position. Now something to keep in mind, I spelled position wrong, is that this still has like, let me look at the CSS again. It should have an absolute on it. It's position absolute. I think we do still want position absolute here. So this might not work completely how I want, just because I think this has to be position relative to really work the way that I want it. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. This can be all displayed, but we just don't want it like centered. Now there's gonna be a bunch of features that are broken. So let's just try to find them. So first off, obviously this one's broken. So we want our top position to equal to, and I don't know where this is really at. It's probably gonna break. We want like to the bottom of this guy. So let's try just like 80px, and we'll see how tall that is. And then our left position needs to be like center with the position. So this will be translate y negative 50%, and we'll see what this looks like. Except we actually want, we'll just see what happens here. We'll just see what this does. There still should be some other errors. I don't think this is what I wanted either, actually. Ooh, we need to add the transform. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into the modal, and this is gonna be optional. And then we're gonna say style equal to, we're gonna say top position and left position, question mark. If this is the case, we'll have this. And this is a mess, so this is fun. Let's see if we can fix this a little bit and make it look a bit nicer. So if we have a top and left position, then we'll do this. Otherwise, we're gonna have top is gonna be 50%. Whoops, 50%. Our left will be 50%, and we're going to have a transform on it, and this is going to be translate and then negative 50% and negative 50%. So this should center it, and it should also, if we don't pass anything in, it should just automatically center everything. Let's make sure that this is good. We will go ahead and say this is this, and then this is like 50% or something. So we'll go ahead and pass those. So let's do like 50 on this. This is getting kind of complicated, but we can also add a translate, which is optional, which is a string. And let's pass in translate. And what we could have actually done is this. So let's get rid of this. So we'll say top will be equal to, and top will be equal to top position question mark. If that's the case, then we'll have top position. Otherwise we'll do 50%. And then left will be the same thing. So left position question mark. It'll be left position. Otherwise it'll be 50%. And then transform, what we'll do is the same thing, I guess. So this should be transform, not translate. So let's say transform, transform. And then here we'll say transform question mark. So that's the case, we'll add transform. Otherwise we'll do this. So now we can just pass in top, and then maybe leave the other ones alone. So back in our create reply, wherever this is, I keep losing it. So I actually want our transform to equal to translate y negative 50, I think. We want to say, maybe it's translate x negative 50, and we can get rid of left position. Let's try this. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Our emojis are working, although clicking on them. Okay, so we need to actually refactor the emojis to depending on which one is actually active. So we need to go down to emoji drop down, and wherever we append the emoji, append emoji to this. Update current post. Oh shoot, it's because we put in content instead of reply content, right? We can do this. If current post will do this, if we need to grab current reply, so let's grab this as well. I don't think any of this matters, so we'll go ahead and say let current reply equal to use selector state root state, and then state dot post dot current reply. Grab this. So now what we'll do is we'll check to see if this, and then we'll say let reply content equal to current reply dot reply content, and then we'll say let updated reply or updated content equal to reply content plus emoji, and we'll dispatch. We're going to dispatch update post. That's fine. And this will take in name of reply content, I believe, and value will equal to reply content. Or we want to call it updated content, we can call it updated content, that's fine. Inside of our actual text area is something isn't working right. So let's go to our text area, create post text area. So I'm wondering if maybe convert elements is taken in the content, and content is equal to use content. Okay, so that's why we're gonna need to get the current content out of the reply or out of the post. So we're kind of going backwards here. Kind of wish we would have set up our thing a little bit differently, our state, but it is what it is at this point. So I guess we already have state here. I'm trying to think about the best way to do this. We might have to do something like this. Const and say text content equal to pass this, and I don't think it needs anything. And this can return a string. So let's make sure we return a string here so it knows. And basically let's say if location is equal to post, then basically we're going to return this, convert content to elements. I don't love this, but it is what it is. Ooh, this doesn't return a string though. This returns a JSX array. JSX element, whoops, array. So if this is the case, we'll return this. And instead of content, this would be state dot post dot current post, like a type, current post dot content. Now the issue is that current post might not exist. So now we gotta say state dot post dot current post. I'm just gonna say if location is equal to reply, because maybe there's gonna be other locations later. I want to be safe. And state dot post dot current reply. Then we'll return convert. Nope. Convert post content to elements. This will be state dot post dot current reply dot reply content, and this will also still be creator. And then otherwise we'll just return empty array as like a down case, and we'll copy this and we'll pass in text content here, and this should fix this. I don't love this solution, but it is what it is. And the issue here, because this does in fact need like special content, const get current value, and we'll do the same thing here. This is icky, but it is what it is. We could actually do this. Let's just do this. I'm assuming we can do this. I don't know. We'll see. Content will be state.post.current post. Whoops. Y. Well, that I can't spell. Dot, and then this will be content. Dude, why? Here we'll return this. I'm assuming this will work. I don't know. We'll find out really quickly. State.post.current post or current reply dot reply content. Otherwise, we're just going to return elements an empty array, and content, an empty string. And then here, this will be text content dot elements. And this one will be text content dot content. Hello. Okay, that's working. Reply. Now it's going to pop up as a post. So we're going to need to figure out how to actually do this properly, but cool. So there's that. That's good to go. Cool. So 2 bugs fixed. So now maybe let's go ahead and get the images working in a reply. And then once we get the images working in reply, we will work on getting the number of replies to a post and putting it down in the bottom right. And then if we still have time, we'll start looking at reposting and stuff. Reposting will be easy, I think. Figuring out how to display it to the feed properly will be interesting, but it is what it is. So let's go back into IntelliJ. So either create reply DTO, some other stuff. Let's move this over a little bit so it's not so large. So now if we go to our post service, I believe, yeah, we have create reply. Now, whenever we create a reply with media, we have this. We take in a string post and we take in a multi-part file or a list of multi-part files. What I'm maybe thinking is I'm wondering if we could kind of do like we did with create reply. So in create reply, we basically just called create post and set a couple other things. So I'm wondering if we basically more or less do the same exact thing here. So let's go ahead and say public post create reply with media, and then this will take in a create reply DTO. I'm guessing this one just took like a post or something. Yeah. So this actually needs to be string post. So let's bring in a string post. We'll actually call it reply and a list of multi-part files. So now we're gonna basically need to do the same exact thing. Maybe I should go ahead and like auto wire an object mapper. But let's go ahead and do all this. I don't think I set up a builder on this, so we'll just have to create a reply DTO. So create reply DTO is equal to new create reply DTO. We'll set up a try catch as we're dealing with the images here. Just catch an exception E. For now, it is called exception E. You might need to set it up later. E.print stack trace for now. Again, we can set this up a little bit later. Let's print that stack trace, and I'm basically going to more or less copy the code that I have inside of create media post and then kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and make an object mapper and then read in that create post or create reply DTO. So we're gonna go ahead and say, can create the object mapper up here. Object mapper is equal to new object mapper. And we can go ahead and say DTO is equal to mapper.read value. We're going to read in the reply, and this is going to be a create reply DTO dot class. Now, what is this complaining about? That's fine. I don't really care at this moment. Now, what I think we want to do is we want to go ahead and construct a post DTO. We will call the create post with media to create a reply, and then we'll set a couple other things, because I think that's basically what we did here. So we have a create post DTO, we create the post, we set the reply to true, and then we set the replies to both the original post and the other post. So I think that's what we're going to do here. And I might go ahead and take the same exact thing. So I might go ahead and take, well, I guess we're going to have to set all this ourselves, right? So let's copy this. I'm going to take this whole thing actually, because this is a create post DTO. That's fine. So we're going to take this, we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to copy it here. This could probably be extracted a little bit even more actually, but we got all this. So then I believe what we're going to go ahead and do is create the post, I think is what we do. Yeah, so post reply is equal to this and do all this. So we'll go ahead and we already have a reply. So we'll go ahead and call this reply post maybe. So this will be reply post.setReply. So we set that reply. And then what we need to do after that is we need to get the original post. So we can go ahead and just literally grab all of this and make it work in here. I know it's duplicated code, but it is what it is. So now we get the original post. We set the original post replies, and this will be reply post. And we set the replies we save the original, and then we save the reply post. So that will allow us to create a post with those. And now we need to go ahead and actually create this missing return statement. So this just threw an unable to save post exception. We can do that as well. That's fine. That'll get this off our back. So if we fail to create the reply, it will just throw an unable to save post exception. So now we need to go to our post controller and build up the same exact thing. So this will be at post mapping. And we'll say /reply/media maybe. And then we'll say public post reply create media reply. And this one is going to, inside here, we're going to consumes equal to media type dot application JSON value, media type dot multi-part form data, and then in here at request part, and we'll have this one will be called reply, is what I think we called it, string reply at request part, and this will be the media, and this will be a list of multi-part files, and return post service dot create reply with media, pass in the reply, pass in the files. And there should already be an exception handler to handle this for us. So this one should be pretty simple actually to do. Let's go ahead and pop up Postman and see if we can get it working in Postman first, and then we'll go ahead and try to do it on the front end as well. And I need a comma here or something. Let's see. So this should be what, value equal to media, and I deleted this, whoops, /media, comma consumes, there we go. Save that, reload this, make sure it runs still. Open up this, so we go into our post, which we already have a reply. Let's make a new one, a new request, and this will be /reply/media. This will be a post request to http:// localhost:8000 /post/reply/media. And now what we need to go and do is we need to go into our headers, and we need authorization as always. So authorization, whoops. And let's grab the token from this headers. So let's grab this token, copy it, and paste the token in. And then now what we need is the body will be URL form encoded, I believe, or it might be form data, but let's do, yeah, it is going to be form data. So the first one can be text, and this will be reply, and then the value needs to be a reply. So we can just like take this body and pass as a string. So the original post, we can do 1, I guess, test reply with media, maybe. Images, schedule false, all this is fine. Copy this, and now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and add quotes there and make this a string like that. And I think that should be perfectly fine. We'll find out in a second, I guess. And then here, the key will be images or files, I think is what they're called. And this would be file. And we can select whatever files. Let's just double check this. So yeah, we called these files. So now we can just pass in a couple of images. So we go ahead and select these. Let's just grab these 3 images. They might be too big. We'll find out. So now we just go ahead and send it and see what happens. So 400 request part media is not present. And name this media instead. Media. Okay. Unable to create posts. Let's see what the exception was. Has to be escaped using a \, including string value. Okay, so it doesn't like our string. So let's remove all of the spaces from this maybe. So let's see. Okay, let me see if I replace these line breaks, if it likes it. I don't know if it'll actually do it, but let's go ahead and try this really quick and see if it's fine with this. Maybe it doesn't want these. Let's try this. There we go. It didn't want the extra quotation marks around it. So obviously author is a little bit scuffed, but there's a posted date, which should be good. So the question is, 1, did this actually upload images? So let's go ahead and reload our images here. Okay, so I don't see images. So that means that this didn't actually post the images, so that's not great. Oh, you know what? It didn't post the images because I never actually did the image part. That makes sense. So we actually need to upload the images that got passed. So let's deal with this. Let's go ahead and upload the images as well. So let's copy this. And down here, again, I know we're reusing all this stuff. So after we save the original one, I'll go ahead and save all of these and do this. And we need to go ahead and say reply post.setImages, save that. And now it should hopefully actually save the images. So let's go ahead and reload. All right, so let's try again and send. Okay, so now we have the images. So now I think if we actually come back into our IntelliJ, there we go. We have all the images. There's that image, there's that image, there's that image, and they show up in there. And then I'm guessing if we go ahead and refresh our post really quick. So let's go ahead and refresh our post. So we have these, and then inside of our images table, let's go ahead and open up our images table. We have the post, the image path, and so on and so forth. Again, typically you'd probably do this with like a S3 bucket or something, but we're just going to put it on here. So let's go ahead, I guess let's go ahead and display how many replies each one of these has. So to do that, what we'll go ahead and do is go into, I guess, the post itself, because I think this is where this is. We have all of this stuff. So now we should have the number of replies. Do we want to do a span or a p tag? Let's just try a p tag. Last name equal to post action bar reply, and this will be count or something. I don't know if we need an ID or something or anything like that. I don't know why it doesn't like count. And here, what we can do, and also this should be post action. And what we'll go and do is we'll say, I don't know if it's at state or post dot, okay, post dot replies, question mark, and I think we can do dot length. Let's just see if they start popping up. So I don't know. Let's refresh. I don't know what post 1 is. I'm guessing this is post 1. Okay, so I don't see a post there. I don't know what this post action bar group looks like. So post action bar group, just fit content, and position relative. I wonder why it's position relative. So replies doesn't even exist on this for some reason. So is this another weird thing, or are replies straight up? I might be JSON ignoring replies. Let's look at the post. I am. Let's just see what happens if I don't JSON ignore the replies. I want to see if I get a infinite loop here. So now it's going to be empty for all of these because I just got rid of them. So 0, this is what we expect. We'll have to get this what we want, obviously. So if I reply, testing replies, reply, fresh, we get an infinite loop. We get 1. It might be okay then. And inside replies, we just have another post and there's nothing inside there. So I guess that's probably fine then. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do, let me go ahead and take a look at Twitter. This will be interesting because whenever you hover over this, it's supposed to also highlight it. But let's just see if we can get this kind of in the position that we want. So let's go back into here and let's go into our post.css. Actually, we need to post.tsx first, so we need to go ahead and bring this guy in. So post action reply count. And that's the thing, whenever we hover over this, we kind of need to like do some stuff here, which is interesting. So we'll have to kind of figure out how to deal with that. But let's go ahead and just bring this guy in first. Guess I didn't need to wrap this. I can just do this. But yeah, let's bring in this post bar reply count. And let's go into post.css. I'll just bring it to the bottom. It's fine. Margin should be 0. If I could type. Padding will be 0. Let's just take a peek at what the font size looks like. About 13px. So font size 13px. It's pretty thin, so we're gonna go font weight 400. And I'm gonna go color. And this is the thing that's kind of gonna be tough. The color is gonna change. And actually I might be able to get away with not doing color and kind of do it a different way. So we'll see here. Now I do want to say position is absolute. And we're gonna say top 0. And left 0, and we're gonna just kind of see and play it by ear and kind of figure out where this goes. But now this should look a little bit better. Yeah, so now you can see it's in the top left, and what we kind of want is it to be in the bottom right. So let's do like bottom 0 and right 0, and honestly that might be what we want to do. The color is scuffed, so that's the biggest issue here. So what I'm thinking is, so we have this update hover colors. So here's what I'm thinking. Inside here we set a style that does something similar. Style equal to, and color will be colors dot reply. And this might be the simplest way to do this. Yep, and we might want to move it a little bit to the right, but I think that's fine. Now the only thing is we only want it to show like 3 digits, right? So up to 100 or up to 1,000, and then maybe once we get to like X amount, whatever. So we need to like convert this to a condensed number, basically. So we need to think about how we want to do that. And I'm just gonna bring it here maybe. Const convert count, pass in the count, which is a number, and this will return a string. So we can just go ahead and say like if count is less than 1,000, return, and we can just like do this $ curly brace and count. Else if count is, let's see, so if count is greater than 1,000, greater than equal to 1,000, and less than, let's say, so if it's less than 10,000, 1, 2, 3. So if this is the case, and count is less than 10,000. So if this is the case, what we'll go and do is we will, I guess, divide by 10 and round to 2 decimals. I gotta see how to round to do 2 decimals. We'll say return, and I guess $ curly brace count divided by 1,000, and then we'll say dot to fixed 2 and pass in a k, I guess. Else if we are greater than or equal to, so count greater than or equal to 10,000, and our count is less than, and this will be 100,000. So if we between these two, we'll return, and we'll say $ curly brace count divided by 10,000, or do we want to say 1,000? We'll do 1,000, and dot to fixed. So let's wrap this. Dot to fixed, and we'll say 1k, and then finally else if. And actually, maybe this should be like the default actually. So return count will be default because we will need a default here. So let's set this as default that we have something. So count is greater than 100,000. And count this will be greater than or equal to. And we'll never be able to actually test this because we're not going to have this many. Just test this. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the case. So it's between these, we'll just return $ curly brace math dot round, I guess. Actually, let's say math dot floor, and we'll say count divided by 1,000. Okay, so that would be like whatever k. And we could expand this to the millions, but I'm not that concerned about it because we're not going to really be able to test the like 1,000 or anything like that. And then the smallest one is to be count. So now we actually want to go ahead and instead of saying this, we'll go ahead and convert count and pass this. Now the issue is going to be that replies might not exist. So let's go back into our global utils. Let's make replies something that exists 100% because there's no reason for that not to exist. And we can get rid of this. Shouldn't look any different. Replies is missing. Where's this at? Feed post creator. Simple enough. Let's go to feed post creator. There might be a couple other issues here and there that we might have to iron out. So here we can just go ahead and say replies empty. Simple enough. We might have another issue. No? Okay. Go. It's not exact, but I think it looks pretty good. And we can do the same exact thing for these guys as well. So I think bookmarks typically also have one and so on and so forth. So let's take a peek at those. So we can more or less do the same exact thing for all of these. So let's copy this. And I'm just going to say post action bar count because I think these can be the same and we can just post whatever color we want. So let's copy this, go back into post.css, put this in here, post action bar count. And this should still work. Just double check. Cool. Now we'll do the rest of these in here. So let's go into our post. We can copy all these, copy this, paste it here. So now instead of reply, this will be repost. And we can copy this. Paste it here. This will be like, copy this, paste it here. This will be views. And I think bookmark has it, but share doesn't. Copy this, paste it here. I don't have any of these that are bookmarked, but I'm fairly certain it has the number bookmarked on it. The bookmark still isn't showing it, which is strange. There we go. It looks like maybe it does come up and to the right a little bit, but let's go back into our post.css so we can bring it up from the bottom a little bit. So let's try like 2 pixels. And let's try like 2 pixels, and this can just be tweaked a little bit. Maybe let's make this down to like 4 again. I do want to bring this guy in maybe to like -4 again. I think honestly that's going to be about as good as we get. I'm not going to be able to get it perfect because Twitter's a little bit finicky, but there's that. So that's good to go. I don't know how the view just popped up. Why is view 1? Oh, I know why view's 1. Okay, that's fine. So we need to come back into post and fix this. I was so confused with them. Like, why is view 1? So this is replies. This will be, so this one is for repost. I don't know if repost is an array. Repost is a number. Okay. So likes is also a number. I believe views is definitely a number. Post dot, I think views is a number. Yep. And let's see here. So bookmark P, and this is bookmarks. So let's do this. Post dot, does bookmark not exist? I guess bookmarks don't exist on this. Is my bookmarks also getting JSON ignored? It's not. So let's just take a look at my, whatever it's called, my interface. So go back down to my global interfaces. I just don't have a bookmark on this, I guess. So I guess let's add bookmark. Doesn't really matter where it goes. Bookmarks. And what is my bookmark return? I'll scroll down. So bookmarks returns bookmarks, which is a list of users, I believe. Bookmarks also returns a list of users. So really, bookmarks should be a user array. And our view should also be a user array. And I think repost is actually a user array too, if we double check this. Yeah, repost is also a user array. So repost, user array. Now, of course, it's going to break some things. So this empty, empty, bookmarks, empty. Anything else? Post itself dot length and anything else. Nope. And those should be getting passed back. So we take a look at this. So likes are scuffed. Post dot likes, and I'm guessing likes should be dot length as well. So let's go back to our global interface. Our likes should be a user array as well. So let's save that, fix it in here. Likes can be this. Anything else that's complaining, post dot likes dot length, save that. I might not be doing this right whenever we fetch it, but that seems fine. I don't know why these don't seem perfect, but it's fine. I think it is what it is. So this is good. So now I'm thinking let's try to do repost really quick. And then after we get repost working, maybe we do like. And then after that, we probably need to update our actual, whatever this is called, our actual feed to kind of display likes and reposts and all that properly. So let's go ahead and go back to our Java code, and in our post controller, I don't think we have a like or repost or anything like that right now. We do not. I don't think we have anything in our post service either. So we just have create post, create media post, create reply of media, get all, get post. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So we'll say public, maybe return the post, public post, and we'll go ahead and say repost, I guess. And this will take in, we need the post, obviously, that we're reposting. We'll probably take in the ID, the user we can get from the token, and integer post ID, and string token. Right, and let's say application user like user equal to, and I think we have a token service. I think we need to bring it in though. So let's see our services. We'll say string username equal to token service. We need to bring in the token service. So private final token service, and we'll go ahead and bring in token service, and this dot token service is equal to token service. So let's try to go ahead and just wrap this up real quick. It's getting pretty late. We brought in what we needed inside of a post service, the token service. So now let's go ahead and get the username by that. So token service dot get username from token, pass in that token, and then we want our application user is equal to, and we're going to say user service. Assuming we have the user service, doesn't look like we have the user service. Nope. So we need to bring in the user service. So private final user service, and let's go ahead and bring in the user service in here. So user service, I guess we're bringing like every service in here. Oh well, this dot user service is equal to user service. Now I think we should have everything we need. So user service dot get user by username, pass in that username. Okay, that's good to go. So now we have the user. Now we need to get the post. So we can say post p. We can just call it post, I guess. It's equal to post repo dot get by ID. Actually, I think it's find by ID. Find by ID. Pass in that post ID dot or else throw. Whoops, maybe. Or else throw. And do we have a post does not exist exception? Let's see, post this we do. Awesome, so we do that. So now just go ahead and return post repo dot save the post, and what we need to do is we need to go ahead and update that set of users. So we'll say set of application user repost is equal to, and we're going to go ahead and say post dot get repost. We're going to say repost dot add. We're going to go ahead and add the user, and then we can go ahead and say post dot set repost to our repost. So that is simple enough. And then we also want a public, and we'll go ahead and say post, and we'll say like, I guess. We'll do the same thing, integer post ID and string token. So you have to be authenticated to do this. String username is equal to token service dot get username from token. And token, we probably could have done this inside of the controller, but I try to keep as little logic in the controller as possible. So that's why I'm doing it here. Application user is equal to user service dot get user by username, and then go ahead and pass in a username. Cool. And then we can go ahead and say post is equal to post repo maybe dot find by ID, pass in that post ID or else throw, and we're just post does not exist exception. Okay, and then we'll do again set application user, and this will be likes is equal to post dot get likes. And then we might as well set up bookmark while we're at it. And we'll go ahead and say likes.add. We'll go ahead and add the user. And then go post.set likes to the likes. If I could get that. And then return post repo dot save the post. So once again, we could probably put this into one function at the top, but whatever. It's fine. Public post. We'll bookmark. Integer post ID. String token. And we'll say string username is equal to token service dot get username from token. Pass in that token. And then application user is equal to user service dot get user by username, pass in the username. Like I mentioned before, we could have extracted this into its own little method at the top of the file. That's fine if you want to do that. Post is equal to post repo dot find by ID, pass in that post ID or else throw. Post does not exist exception new. We'll get the set of application user, and this will be bookmarks equal to post.get bookmarks, and then we'll say bookmarks dot add, and then we'll go ahead and add that user, and we'll say post.set bookmarks, and we'll go ahead and set that to bookmarks. So that would be the set of users that bookmarked it. Return post repo dot save, and we'll go ahead and update that entity in the database. So that should all be good. We're getting all these eagerly, so we shouldn't have to do anything crazy. And now what we can do is go into our post controller and just set these up. These are pretty simple. Let's set up some post mapping, or put mapping probably at put mapping. This will be, we'll say slash, and the first one will say repost slash ID, and that'll be the post ID. So now we can say public post and repost, and at path variable will be ID int ID, and here we can return. And also we need to get the token. So there is something we do to get the token. I don't remember what it is though. Yeah, so we want the at request header string token. So let's just grab this from a user controller, and I'm going to add it in here. I don't think it matters where it goes, so we want to put in the right spot. Whoops. Add it here. So we're going to return our post service dot repost. We'll pass in ID and token. Cool. And now we more or less just do the same exact thing. So at post mapping to slash like slash ID, this will be called like, and that should be fine. This would be post service dot like, and then finally we'll have another put mapping to slash bookmark. We're gonna do something completely different for views. We're gonna have like a notification service or something for views probably, and maybe maybe not, I don't know, but views would be different. So just know that. Bookmark. Okay, so those should all be good. let's go ahead and reload this, make sure this is working. Okay, let's go into Postman. Postman's still working. That's cool. So let's save replies. So reply and reply with media are good to go, it seems like. Save organization. Let's just close out of these here. So inside of our post, let's go ahead and make a new request. And this can be to /repost, I guess. This is a put mapping, and to http:// local post : 8000 / post / repost. And we want the post that we want to repost. So let's just go back to our front end. Let's say we're reposting. I guess we don't know what that one is. Let's look at our database actually and go to our posts. I don't think we can repost our own, but we see here, this one is 2, so we can actually repost 11. So let's go ahead and say 11, and then we need our authorization header. So authorization, let's grab our bearer token from reply with media. Copy that and paste that. So theoretically, this should add a repost to our repost junction table. Fingers crossed. Okay, it did in fact add us to the repost. Let's just check the repost table in dbeaver. So we go to post repost junction. We can see post 11 is reposted by user ID 1. So that's cool. So now we can basically do the same exact thing. Let's save this one. So now let's do the like. So let's go in here and we'll go ahead and add request. And this will be like. I should probably add /ID there, but it's fine. HTTP. And now we'll say like 11, go into our headers, add our authorization. And here we'll go and do is, let's grab the authorization header from this one, copy it and paste in the authorization, run this. Okay, now it's got a person in the likes. And we can do the same exact thing once again for our bookmark. So make one more new one. We'll go ahead and add request. There'll be a put mapping to bookmark. Oops, let's make sure it's in the right spot. We'll bookmark 11. Let's go ahead and put in, because I put it in the wrong spot, authorization and bearer token. There we go. And so we have like, we have the author, we have bookmarks. Cool. So that is everything working. I think that might be where we call it for tonight. So we basically were able to reply to a post, we were able to repost a post, and we were able to like a post. Now I gotta kind of think about how Twitter works when it is in respect to showing the feed page. Like sometimes when you're following someone, it will actually show a reply, and then other times it won't. And also we need to be able to click on the post and kind of show what replies are there and kind of go from there, I guess. And then after that, well, obviously we also need to be able to like, bookmark and all that. And we also need to set it up so that we can actually count the views, which will be interesting. I think maybe for views, we'll just add to the list of users, the set of users, and then if the user's already in there, we'll just kind of ignore it, I guess. And then also on the front end, maybe we'll have like a trigger or something that says, hey, you've already liked this post, and it won't go through because we don't want to spam the server. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight in this episode. I appreciate anyone that did stop by. I appreciate everyone that liked. The stream was a little bit choppy. I'm aware of that. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep working on this. Hopefully we can get it done eventually. We're making good progress here at the post. It's going to start looking a little bit more like Twitter as we start filling out some of these posts, showing the reposts and all that stuff and the replies. So as always, I appreciate everyone that stopped by. I appreciate anyone that watched to this point inside the video or the live stream. It's definitely been a long stream. So yeah, I appreciate you all. This has been Ethan Uncoder. Have a great night, everyone. And I'll see you in the next episode or a live stream. Peace out.